different live streams going on. Can you guys hear me over here? Okay. If anybody's on here, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. Thanks for the thumbs up, whoever that is. I'm live streaming or trying to, and there's no audio on that. Should be able to hear it out of the other one. Maybe it's causing it. Oh, shit. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, that's fucked up. Okay, what the hell's going on here? I don't know why I was able to live stream before with both on two different channels. You can't do it evidently now. It's just feedback. If anybody's on there, I hate to keep asking this, but can you hear me? Because I can't correct this damn thing. I don't. And if YouTube's listening, what the hell's going on? That I was doing double live streams for quite some time, never had an issue with it. What's going on? It's with the Legends and Tales channel. Are you blocking it and you don't have the decency to fucking tell me, hey, we're doing this because of this? Or is this just some kind of fluke or something to do with, a fucking glitch? How about a heads up here? I guess I'll have to send you an email, but I don't feel like waiting a week for a response. $50 yeast. What the fuck is that? What's 50 yeast of Bud Light look like? Were you trying to say 50 years? At least you heard me. How you doing, dude? I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I'm trying to do a double live stream. This actually was a test because my live streaming, one side of it's shut down. There's no Aurora Edwards. How you doing? That's a neat name. How are you, Blue Car Official? Yeah. For some damn reason, I was able to do two live streams simultaneously. I had one phone that was Legends and Tales of Josie Wales, and then the other one was Preacher Pale Rider. That's the one you guys are talking to me from. And now I can't get the other one to work. Now the weird thing was, the other one was there'd only be like 20 people on it after a live stream. I used to get a lot more, maybe 30 people. And they're still on there, but nobody's able to hear me. The audio's not there. Now on the newer channel, shit, I had like almost 200 on there a little while ago, a couple days back, or I think it was 175 or something. I can't understand what the fuck's going on unless they're pissed off at me and trying to block the one channel, because they offered to give back my other channel that they took 2 years ago for so-called medical misinformation. I believe that was what they took it down for, when like everybody was losing their channels. Not everybody, a large percentage of people that I used to watch lost channels, but they all are getting them back. Richie from Boston, who the hell, Grindle 61, a whole shit ton of them, Crow 777, and they all lost their channels. They got them back, and I had said something via YouTube on here, and maybe they heard it, and now they kind of offered me a chance to, I guess, send them some kind of letter or go in to get my channel back from 4 years ago. No, actually, it was about almost 3 years ago, and contest it because it was bullshit. They said it was medical misinformation, and if it's what I think it is, because it's been 3 years, then they should be giving me my channel back, because they were not letting anybody say anything. And you know what came true? That a lot of stuff that people were saying ended up being right. Okay, the government was fucking lying to us, basically, in a lot of ways, and putting the fear of God into everybody, like the doctors and shit. So they had to go toe the company line and not tell the truth, basically lie to their patients, I guess, or just. And what was up with telling the fucking military who protects our country that they had to go take that experimental thing? That was bullshit, all right? And if you want to take down my channel for that, well, fuck you then, YouTube. It's bullshit. You hear me? Anyway, got a little carried away. You guys can hear me though, right? And I ain't trying to offend anybody on here, cursing because it's kind of bullshit to, pull this shit. If you have an issue with somebody, confront them, tell them. If you got an issue with me, YouTube, send me a message, and maybe we can be like adults about it, instead of playing games with my live streams and all this other bullshit, and send 100,000 bots into my chat room. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This is why nobody likes AI, or people are having an issue with AI. Can you hear me? Who's that? Samuel Sneed. How you doing? I ain't seen you for a while. How you been, dude? Basically, I got an issue right now, and I'm trying to get it straightened out. I was doing live streams. Wait a minute. Who's that? Leo, can you hear me? No, I'm not racist. But you can hear me, though, at least. Can you? Or can you? Can you hear me? That is your name, correct? Leo? Leo, yep. No, why would you think I was racist? Because I have, I don't know, Harley hat on? Sorry. You know what I mean? Has society fucked people up so bad that they're all walking around, are you this, are you that? What are you? You're a human being, so am I, dude. All right? And I don't play fucking shit where you're labeling people anyway. Because you know what? The other day I threw someone off my fucking channel because they were like, the Jews this and the... Hang on, wait a minute. And the Jews that. No, don't fucking play that shit on my station. I don't play that. All right? You're responsible for you. I'm responsible for me. You can't lump, say one whole group of society is fucked up, It's on an individual thing. You're either an asshole or you're not. It doesn't come down to skin color or any of that shit. All right. Now that I went on my fucking rant there, can you guys hear me still? Just totally pissed off because for 3 or 4 days now, I haven't been able to live stream out of the one phone, the one channel. What is racism? About defending someone because that's what I did. Someone said on my channel, why am I even talking to a total stranger who's just trying to fucking troll me anyway? So pound sand and walk away, motherfucker. But no, I'm not a racist. If you even give a shit, if that was a real question, just pissed off right now, and that's that. How you doing anyway, Samuel Sneed? It's good to see you. Basically, what I was trying to. Yep. Are you still there, or did everybody roll out? No, you guys are still on there. That sounds like a bot answer. No, here's the deal. I don't even give a shit what race anybody is. You're either an asshole or you're a decent person. End of story. Now you can hang in there and play that game with the jerk-offs that are in control of this planet, that are trying to pit one side against the other. I don't fucking do that, and I never will do that. Okay? There's that. You're not a bot. Okay, then you're not a bot. Good for you. I'm glad. and I'm not a racist. So there we go. How you doing? Who's that? Adam Hamid. I can't read that name there. Where are you from anyway? What's this? Have you ever heard of the Hammerskins? No. What's that? What country are you in? How about answering one of my questions? Since you're rapid firing crap at me now, but you haven't answered a single question. That's why I thought you were a bot. We're not holding a conversation. You're just throwing stuff at me. How about answering one of my questions? Where are you from, dude? It's a group. It's a group they play music. Okay. All right. I don't know what you're referring to there. Wait a minute. What's my name? My name, well, of the channel or me? I ain't giving up my name right yet. But I'll tell you the name of the channel you're on. USA. All right. There you go. Thank you for answering the question. That way we're having a conversation. Otherwise, I do feel like I'm talking to a bot, Dylan Ruiz, how you doing? No, it's a group like the Klan. I never heard of them. Are they from America? Are you saying it's a group of prejudiced assholes? Or is it a musical group? Because I'm old. I don't know. If it's a musical group, I haven't heard of them. How are you? I'm doing good, dude. How you doing? Anyway, I have an issue with the audio, and I was trying to straighten that out and testing it. And I don't know, you guys are probably a hell of a lot younger than me. Is there a way, maybe I need to hook a microphone up to the thing? Someone suggested go out and buy a microphone. Because it's only the audio on the one live stream. The other ones are. You have no friends. Well, here's how you get friends, dude. Just treat people the way people want to be treated. End of story. And that goes right back to what he asked me over here on the other live stream. And I don't know if you know that there's 2 live streams right now going on. He's asked if I was a racist. No, I'm not. Any ice over there? I had some in a cup with some soda. It was pretty good. It chilled my soda. If you're talking about ice agents, no, there isn't. What's that? Oh, 11 a.m. doing that, but they're saying no. What's that one say? If you want to know, we're in the U.S. Oh, so there's more than one of you. The deep. Oh, wait a minute. Are you in that group? Are you in the group, Leo? What's this? Cordova versus Aragon, U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit. held that where a police officer had moved out of the way. Oh, you guys talking about that shit up in Minnesota by chance? First off, here's the deal. I'm not 100% sold on what happened there. I think that's our government fucking trying to get a civil war kicked off. That's just me. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think that what happened there, I'm not 100% sure. I only caught a clip of it. But if you go back and look at all the other kind of crazy false flag shit that went on, makes you wonder. The Hammerskins is a hate group. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for educating me. Never heard of them, dude. I'm an old man. How old do you guys think I am? Just throw a number out there. See if any of you get. Brother, the African people are aggressive race. And why do you think? Maybe they are, but maybe they're also been persecuted, you know? Same with the Jews, same with other people. People who are getting fucking screwed around for generations tend to get a little bit salty. Do you think they had any choice in what color that their skin is anyway? And how do you feel about God? Are you an Antichrist type people? Because I don't think God wants us hating on each other. The government does. And I don't follow the government. I follow God. And I read the Bible, if you're getting ready to ask that. Yeah. 65, you look like around that. Well, that's a good guess, but I'm not quite there yet. I am I'm just over 61. I'm 62. I just turned 62. How old are you, dude? You guys are probably all a hell of a lot younger than me. I guarantee you, there isn't one person on the live stream right now that's even probably within a couple years of me. So you ought to be freaked out that I'm at least trying to communicate with the younger generation, because a lot of people ain't giving you the time of day. They're fucking shutting you off, say these dumb young kids. No, I think they're all, basically, you guys are intelligent, but the fucking schools are set up to dumb you down and everything else. But I hear a lot of things that, if you think them through, there's a lot of youth that are intelligent. But again, I blame everything on the government. It's been fucking all about control over the masses, over everybody. They're trying to get a one world government going here. And that means no rights for anybody. So just throwing that out there. You know? Yeah, and like I said, I don't know how someone can hate someone for something they can't have no control over. That's a fucking lame ass thing, you know? But you know what? I don't get too into it and dwell on it, because I'm going to go live my life the way I want people to treat me, is the way I'm going to treat others. Simple and plain. I don't fuck about and shit on anybody's world. I treat everybody with respect. And that's a simple thing. The problem is, just like the Bible says, near end times, love will wax cold, meaning people are going to become cold towards each other. There's road rage out there everywhere. Things are all fucked up in the world. And you can blame that on the elites, the money people. They're the ones that fucking cause a lot of this, in my opinion. And who runs the governments? The elites, the money people. End of story. That's what I'm about, you know? I'm not a racist. I'm a person that believes that human race doesn't need to be stomped on and squashed and pushed against each other, so we fight among each others. We ought to be fucking sticking together and fucking going after the scumbags that are stomping on our heads in society, the fucking elites. That's my opinion on the whole deal. Anyway, now that I just ranted for 20 minutes, can you guys hear everything I just said? Because it just pissed me off for two or three days there. The live streams weren't working. It was all screwed up. And I'm thinking it's YouTube trying to censor me or whatever. Maybe it's the government. Maybe, I don't know what it is. Why you curse this much? Not necessary, bro. Take it easy. You know what? You're absolutely right. I do, because right now I'm stressed out. I've had a rough day, and I shouldn't curse as much. But one thing about cursing, though, I did find out, that sometimes it's basically shock people awake. Same reason, if you guys know who Howard Stern is he'll do stuff that's shocking because people tend to pay attention then. It's like throwing a bucket of cold water on people to wake them up from their sleep. Yes, it does. We need a reset. Are you Catholic? No, but I was raised Catholic. I believe in God, and that's that. I don't have a label. God didn't tell me to put a label on which way. It's about God. I'm not putting anybody in front of God. I'm going right to the source. So none of us should have to go through a priest to go get absolved of our sins and stuff. You can talk to God at any time. He'd probably like to hear from you. Jim Leahy is back. It's time for drinking, bud. I don't know what that means. And I gave up drinking a while back. Where are you in the world, my friend? I'm over in America. I don't know where you're talking to. I'll tell you what, we'll make a trade. I'll tell you where I'm at. You give me a hint where you're at. Everybody asks me questions, but I can't fire back a couple. Just out of curiosity, where are you from? But I am in America, and I'm on the East Coast. And if you tell me where you're from, what's that? Germany, thank you. There you go. That's called a conversation, the exchange of ideas. And that's what's wrong with today. People can't talk. People can't, look, I might have a disagreement with one of you guys, but people should be able to share ideas. We all got a brain in our head. We should be able to use it and not let the powers that be tell us what we can and can't say. That's why there you go. All day long, my phone's been ringing off the frickin' hook, and it's all been spam calls. What's that? In the West. You're in the West. West part of Germany? Yeah. Bremen. I had a friend that was over there in Bremen. What's this? I'm watching from Spain. It looks like you're a superstar over Europe. Maybe. I'm just speaking truth, and people need to hear truth. We're being pitted against one another. Every nation, it's happening everywhere around the world. They got us fighting among ourselves over dumb little shit, when we should be enjoying our lives and treating people with the same respect we want. If that was ever to happen, shit, we'd be living in paradise. But they're doing everything they can to fuck that up for us. That's the way I'm looking at things. It's called the reality of what's really going on. I busted through the matrix, so to speak. I'm seeing through the other side because they basically got us believing a bunch of horse shit. That, certain people are this way and certain people. No, people are people. And we're all made in the image of God. So if you're copping attitude towards somebody, and you're copping an attitude towards God, for instance, it's important. That's right. In union there is strength. Divided we fall. United we stand. Divided we fall. It's an old saying. I believe it might have been Abraham Lincoln said that. And it's the truth. And that's what they're trying to do all around the world. Get everybody fighting each other. Divide and conquer. Exactly. You're catching on, brother. There you go. Divide. Exactly. They want us to be fighting one another. And they're trying their damnedest right now to get civil war over here in America, and to get it's all bullshit. And if you go and start, flipping out on people, and you think that, these people over here are the problem, you go running after them, then you're playing into their hands, basically. And even I fall back into that. It's a mindset where I'm yelling at the government. Not everybody in the government's probably a rotten bastard. Just the ones that are power hungry in there, that are trying to take everything for themselves and leave everybody else to starve one way or the other. And here's a for instance. This really bothers me. They're collecting data on everybody. We're in the computer age. I'd rather go back to the agrarian society, where farmers and stuff like that, because you know what? This is leading down a dark hallway, a dark path. The technology, AI, it's going to be a real freaking mess. Take my word for it. We're going to be enslaved. They're trying to take everybody's money away and use digital money. Now, answer me one question. You go to digital money, what happens when they blow out the power grid? How do you go and buy something? You see what I'm saying? That's number one. So it's foolishness and number two, the governments can look in and see exactly everything that you're doing. You go and, let's say, want to give money or a present to your nephew. Why does the government need to tax that and be into your business? It's craziness. Cash is king. That's right. Yep. Cash is king, and everything else is garbage. Which country is this? I never travel outside my country. Where am I from? I'm from America. We will go back in trading, not money. Yeah, it's right. It'll be barter system. It'll go back to like primitive times. And they're about to just blow everything up just because they can't get their way, the elites. Gold is king. Yeah, a lot of people are falling back on gold and everything. Here's something that you got to think about, and I don't know what this means, but it's in the Bible. It says they'll be casting their gold and their silver into the streets in the last book of the Revelation. Now, why would they be doing that? Because the economy's falling in, and all of a sudden everybody's going to run to gold and silver, okay? And then they're going to have a disease like monkeypox, where literally somehow you won't be able to handle your money. You see what I'm saying? So then they'll want you to go over to the credit system, where you have electronic transactions. That's where they're going to pull us into that whole digital money shit one way or another. Because they can't have, if you have money in your pocket, you don't need the government. That you can take care of your debts and do your thing and not be part of the thing. That's why they don't like the Amish people. The government hassles the Amish people over here. Amish is kind of like we have Pennsylvania Dutch, it's called. They're, I guess, half German and half Dutch. Traditionally, they came over here, and they don't believe in electricity and different things like that. They don't want no part of that. They're more about farming and basically, working with their hands out in the fields and doing stuff. And they don't want parts of this technology. Guess what? I'm right there with them. I think technology is going to be the downfall of man, because don't get me wrong, there's some good things with technology, but I'm telling you, we're heading down a bad avenue. You're going to be enslaved if you buy into this shit. What's it say? Like an apple for two. Exactly. Barter system. But the government tries to hold us back. Hey, how you doing, Karen? Is that your name? 37? Yeah, it's crazy. I just, like I was saying about the Amish, though, the government over here is hassling the shit out of the farmers up there, the Pennsylvania Dutch up near Lancaster. I go up there sometimes, and I'll buy stuff from them, and the government's trying to figure out how to get them tied into the power grid, because they're not getting charged, because they're not using electric. And let me let you in a little secret. There was a scientist, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Nikola Tesla. He gave the world free energy. He had an invention. It was a gift for the world. And do you know what the scumbags did? They went up and they took the patents, and they stopped us from being able to light our homes and use that electricity. Anyway, this is back in 1945. He died. No, 43 died. February. He was a great inventor. And, now it's all about power and money. They just wanted to have you on the power grid so they can keep charging you, and it's enslavement too. You know, God gave Nikola Tesla knowledge to go invent, free electricity. Then I think he meant it for us to have it. But what do I know? Who's that? Oh, there you go. You jumped over to the other live stream. There you go. But could you hear? You heard me on the other one, right? So maybe the problem is fixed with the audio. I hope, because I couldn't do any damn live streams the other day. Anyway, if you guys want, I'd be honored if you did subscribe, because I can tell you're you're hanging in here. So it means that you're interested in hearing it from an older person. And you know what? I think the younger people are getting a raw deal a lot of times now, because they're figuring that you guys ain't smart enough. But I think you are. I think you can fight back against the system that's coming in, and you'll figure it out. And that's what I'm hoping on, because the government is behind. By the way, let me get back to this thought. That Trump is talking about spending billions of dollars on something they were calling Stargate. And what it is, I think it's basically hooked into these data centers they're building everywhere. And here's a thing, a guy from YouTube, it's called, he just did a thing on this, and I can't remember the name of the channel. But basically, all these data centers are gathering up everything you ever said and did on the internet, and they're holding on to that. Why? What can they possibly be using that for? I'll tell you what they're using that for. Because eventually the system's going to be going after you. It's hard to explain, but China has a social credit score right now. And, you shouldn't be judged for the rest of your life because you spit on the ground or throw a cigarette butt out the window. And I don't know that it's that severe over in China, but I heard it's pretty bad. Let's just... No, sorry. They sent the trolls out. Let me take the trash out here. Okay. See, the government didn't like what I was saying, so out come the trolls. Unless that guy's just a freelance troll. Anyway, I'm just... What's it say? Gold is king. Is anybody still on this one over here? No, I'm going to kill this one. Everybody came off of there. And basically, is anybody over here? Leo, you still there? Yeah, I thought, I'm starting to think that maybe the government sent some of you guys out there, or YouTube, or somebody that wants to censor, common sense. Because that's all I was speaking, the truth. And it's a shame, because the world's pretty fucked up. Anyway, have a good one. Feel free to subscribe.